Now let's go back into the chamber for more on that DUP motion on the Civic Forum. And currently talking is Mitchell McLaughlin of Sinn Féin.
From all sides of our community. And is that not an issue that, for instance, a Civic Forum could help people to articulate and to develop an approach? Because quite clearly, up to now, the political process has been unable to do that.
Yeah, I want to see people engaging with this Assembly. Not necessarily special interest groups via a Civic Forum. And I was interested by a contribution that Sir George Reid, the former Speaker of the Scottish Parliament, made at the NICFA conference recently, where he talked all about engaging with people on the Assembly. I think that's a better way that we need to look at, rather than a Civic Forum, which is a costly waste of money.
Call Mr Jim Shannon. Mr Shannon.
Mr Deputy Speaker, as a member of the committee of the First Minister and Deputy First Minister, have been watching very carefully the progress of the forum, and indeed not just as a member of that committee, but also as a taxpayer as well. I have always hoped that some sense would be seen that the forum would officially be considered as defunct and unnecessary. I'm not one to forecast doom and gloom, and members know that. I believe it is our job as an Assemblyman to give the people of Northern Ireland something to look to and to hope for better things ahead. However, there is no one here who does not know that it is a hard journey to get back to economic prosperity for the UK as a whole, and we should be ensuring that every penny we spend is well spent and is beneficial to the province. To put it simply, Mr Deputy Speaker, I don't believe the Civic Forum is beneficial as a good stewardship of money. Let's have a look at the facts. The facts are that the forum was set up with the help of the Belfast Agreement and was to inform the folk of the province on the way forward. This was the reason behind it and why it was set up. The reality is that it hasn't met since 2012 and has been no less working with the folk. Indeed, it has been a gay deal mayor. If you were to go on down on the street and ask only businessmen who they feel or how they miss out on the forum putting forth their views, the muckle and mist of them would ask, what was the forum in the first place? And their second comment would be that it was my job as yin that was elected to put forth their point of view. Let's have a look at the facts, Mr Deputy Speaker. The facts are that the forum was set up under the auspices of the Belfast Agreement as a way to interact with the people of the province on the way forward. This was the reason that it was set up. The reality is that it has not met since 2002, and there has been no less interaction with the community. Indeed, there has been a great deal more. If you were to go down on the street and ask the local businessman if they feel they have missed out on the forum, not expressing their views, the huge majority would ask what was the forum in the first place. And the second comment would be that it was my job as an elected representative to represent them and their viewpoint. Even the members of the forum felt it was not the best use of their time and resources, which can be ascertained, Mr Deputy Speaker, from the horrendous attendance by members, with only 6 out of 61 listed members attending every meeting. That's an indication of their interest. This tells a tale of how valued it was, and I can also say that how much good the people who were on the team felt it was doing. In all reality, this tells enough of a story by itself without reading into anything else. Were I and the rest of the members of this Assembly only to attend plenary sessions with the same regularity as the members of the forum, you would be justified in having to reconsider the value of the Assembly and the work that was done. Why is it any different for the Civic Forum? Taxpayer demands value for money, and this simply is not value for money in any shape or form. Quite happy to give way, Kieran. Yes.
Very much. Thank the member for giving way. Do you not think that it's a bit hypocritical, coming from the benches opposite, that you're complaining about value for money, when at the same time your department and your ministers squandered nearly £4 million on a maze stadium that has never gone anywhere and has no intention of going anywhere?
Thank the member for his response, but I think whenever the three organisations, the sporting organisations, get their part of the money, then you'll see value for money when it comes through to each and every one of them. If you ask Finance, Mr Deputy Speaker, they will say that they only missed out having to pay out the expenses, and they have missed not having to divert the funding from other areas to fund a Civic Forum which is not useful or necessary. In all practicality and reality, the Civic Forum role was to liaise with businesses and community workers. Is already being fulfilled, can I say, by the members of this Assembly, by the advice centres that we run, and by the interaction we have with all the people. I'm quite happy to hear it. Yes, sir.
Just to counterbalance that comment from the Alliance Party member, can I just say that, and I'm sure my colleague in Health will agree with me, that the 700,000 plus costing for the forum would go a long way to getting the three-dimensional TELSA scanner required for children with intractable epilepsy, and not only that, but also would allow for autistic children and those with brain-acquired injuries to be able to avail of equipment that does not exist in Northern Ireland at the present time.
Thank the member for our intervention, and her words are very, very wise. And as Ciara and I both represent the same area, and we both talked about it yesterday, that £700,000 will go a long way to doing the roads of the Irish Peninsula, which Ciara and I talk about each and every day of the week as well. Can I just say as well? Can I just say, Mr. Speaker, that it's important for us to be involved in interaction with our people. We do that, as I said earlier, through our advice centres. We do that with our communication with community groups each and every day of the week. We attend those, and my constituency, and with other members here and there as well. My office looks after somewhere in the region of 200 things per week. That's 200 items of interaction every day of every week done in our office. Now, if that's not an indication of what you can do as an Assembly member, then it's a question we also be asking ourselves. We also have another method and there are more inexpensive methods as well. The Internet is one example, and I feel it is a medium which is not selective, not gender, race or creed biased, and which will enable more time and money to be poured into the essentials of what we're trying to achieve. I would urge the members to support the motion and ask that you join with me this afternoon in making clear this Assembly is cost effective, time effective and work effective, and streamlined as far as it can be. Thank you.